Welcome back, Lockdown Legion, to another exciting episode of...
Nerds on Lockdown.
I am here once again with the incomparable Aaron to talk to you all about our nerd culture and your nerd culture and our opinions of that nerd culture. I am Chris. That is Aaron. What are we doing today, buddy?
Chris, we're going to be covering our top 5 favorite comic book character film or television appearances. This can be in a film or television show.
Cool, man. This is going to be interesting. I will say that I do have a couple that are controversial to you guys out there. So let's get it rolling. Aaron, number 5.
Man, I slightly anticipated this of you, my friend. All right. So this is a character who I was first introduced to in a film, not the comic, but that I enjoyed so much, I actually went back and started reading the comic for which he came from. And that's one Rocket Raccoon.
All right.
Of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was my absolute favorite character in that film. And then I started reading the comic because of him.
Okay, cool. Do you actually like the movies, though? Like, you're a fan of the Guardians
Definitely.
1 and 2? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like the humor a lot.
Mm-hmm. Good pick. I like that character as well. He's one of the Marvel characters that I do like, and I do like the actor that plays him, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Coops.
Yeah. So cool, good pick, man. Rocket Raccoon.
And I don't get what the hate is on that flick either. Really, it's sort of like the Nickelback thing. I don't get that either.
Yeah,
but,
I don't
you know. Anyways, for another conversation, my number 4 today, my friend, is probably many people's number 1. This is a character that's probably the first one that I remember identifying with as a child and enjoying on that level. And this is one Mr. Bruce Wayne Batman. And I brought, for show and tell today, I brought something very special. Real quick, I'm gonna bust out. 7th birthday, my grandmother from my birthday gives me a birthday present, and she gives me this OG Batman beach towel. Sorry,
nice.
Pick that up. Right now, as you can see, this is weathered.
Oh yeah.
It's also 30 years old.
But that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, dude. This right here, this OG Batman with seeing him in the Adam West version on the television occasionally, and then of course '89's Keaton Burton Batman. It's not even really an argument. I mean, Batman's freaking awesome, right?
Yeah. Cool, man. I that ties in with my number 4.
Sweet.
Number 4 is Batman for me, but it's a specific.
Nice.
Yeah, it is a specific actor that did it, and that's Val Kilmer. He still to this day is my favorite Batman portrayal of Batman. And
cool,
I know
man.
there's a lot of hate for that, but that's my opinion. So, yeah.
I think Val Kilmer is incredibly underappreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know this will be a discussion for another day, but his portrayal in Tombstone,
unbelievable,
should have won him an Academy Award, and
I'm your huckleberry.
And it didn't. And it's a shame, but he's always been I don't know what it is. I thought he made the perfect Bruce Wayne, I think, and that's why I liked,
good balance.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like, you like the Michael Keaton. I don't mind those movies at all, but he doesn't seem like a bachelor to me. Like, he doesn't seem like a millionaire bachelor to me.
Right.
It's weird to me. It's, it's like, I thought George Clooney was okay too, because he kind of looks the bachelor part.
He was
right?
$1 million bachelor.
Yeah,
probably,
exactly. Yeah. So it was believable to me. So, but Val Kilmer, yeah, definitely my number 4.
Right on, dude. Right on. And I love that you're showing Kilmer some love, man. I really do. My number 3 is again probably many of your out there's favorite character as well. We're gonna go with one Logan Wolverine, and for me, the first time I got into X-Men comics around 12 years old-ish, and of course, no character looks as awesome as him. He's just brutal looking, and I started reading comics at that age because of that character. And then when I got to see him start to come out in different X-Men films, sometimes I was impressed and sometimes I was let down. But, the cherry on top was, of course, Logan, and how amazing to me that movie was emotionally. I mean, as a film in and of itself, if he wasn't based on a comic character, if that was a film, it would be, just as amazing. So
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great movie. Not a massive fan of the X-Men movies at all, but
right,
that movie by itself redeemed the last couple of Wolverine movies for me, you know?
seriously.
And that was like one of those movies where it was sort of like a spaghetti western mixed with a comic book movie, and it felt like Johnny Cash could have just written the whole soundtrack to it. It would have been perfect.
That would have been cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
good call. Good call.
yeah, it's a good movie. I took my kid to see that, and he was only 8 at the time, maybe, and I was just like, I didn't realize how violent it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Dude.
They don't pull any punches.
Yeah, and then
Like-
the fact that they actually added X-23 in there.
Yeah.
That I had been waiting for an X-23 to be on the big screen for a very long time.
Yeah,
So-
and he absolutely brutalized your favorite characters. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool,
that
man.
that movie made me tear up. Not gonna lie. I just used my little Wolverine towel to wipe my tears. my little Batman towel.
All
All right,
right.
man. Hit me with number 3, brother.
Number 3 is going to be the most controversial on my list. Yeah, and people are gonna really get on me for this one, but Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker
Right.
in Suicide Squad. Listen, I have my reasonings for this, okay? So I could have picked anybody's portrayal of the Joker. What's his name? Not Keaton. Nicholson, Ledger, or the newer one, right? A Phoenix, right? But to me, Leto felt like, and then we also had Romero back in the Cesar Romero back in the Batman, the original series, right?
Correct.
So,
yeah, Adam West. Yeah.
Adam West series, yeah. So the reason why I liked Leto's Joker is because it was the gangster Joker. It was what Joker I thought should have been. I don't think Joker should be this crazy, psychotic, weird, dark character. To me, he should be more of that gangster boss, crime syndicate character. And I thought he perfectly portrayed that. Now, yeah, were the tattoos a little much? Sure, whatever, the gold teeth, yeah, it was a little overboard on that. But his actual portrayal and his acting in that movie, I thought was fantastic. And I thought nobody gave him love for what he actually did on screen. It was the writers that messed the whole Joker thing up in that movie. It wasn't him. And he gets flack for it. So I have to stand up and defend Jared Leto's Joker because I absolutely think it was the coolest Joker. So
That's awesome. Yeah. So do you think that if he had been given slightly different costume or visual cues that the performance would have shined through better, it would have been less distracting, and then the film would be more widely received?
Probably. I would imagine so, because that was really the big hate for that movie was his
They didn't like the way it looked. I mean, initially,
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I mean, he was a gangster, but you have to realize that movie was made, what, 3-4 years ago? Something like that? 3 years ago?
Yeah, 4, probably.
We're in the 2010s as it is right now. You can't go back and be like, well, I want to portray a Joker that's in the 80s. Like, it doesn't work. And you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, we're in the 2020s. When it was made, it was 2000.
I got you.
Right?
Yes.
So, you can't go back. I mean, it's what the Joker would be today if there was a real-life Joker. And that's why I liked it, because it was a portrayal of what would happen today.
Okay.
They didn't try to be like, oh, let's be like everybody else's Joker. It was their version of that Joker, and I thought it was cool, man. Just like I actually thought Ben Affleck's Batman was okay. I didn't think he was the worst Batman at all.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
But anyways, yeah, that's my number 3.
All right, bro. All right. My number 2 is from one of my absolute favorite films, and it happens to be a comic book film, and it also happens to, basically this film was the first time that I ever heard of a actor passing away where it affected me. There's been a number of them over the years, but this was the first time I remember hearing about one that really, like, as a kid, kind of broke my heart. And this is Brandon Lee's portrayal of James O'Barr's The Crow. The movie for me I saw first and was just totally blown away by it stylistically. The music is just so locked in and perfect. They finished it even though they didn't have quite enough of the entire film filmed before Brandon was killed on set. So they were able to close it out and they made a really beautiful picture. And then, of course, that led me going back to the comic and reading as many of them as I could find. And, you know, I could tell that the essence of the character was captured very well philosophically by Brandon Lee and then transmitted or portrayed. So I just love the imagery. I love, to this day, you know, it's sometimes revered as that cheesy goth movie, but I don't agree. So anyways, dude, The Crow, I think
I like that movie a lot. Yeah, for sure. Did you ever see the sequels at all?
Yeah, unfortunately. That's why I try to focus specifically on.
Yeah.
And they say the film is cursed too. Like every time a film gets going and new money and new permissions and things like that, it falls apart. I mean, it was going to be directed by multiple different name directors over the years. It's fallen through every time. Jason Momoa was going to be Eric Draven, and it fell apart again. I mean, like, you know, I don't know if we'll ever get another one that will ever be a good complement to the first one, the original.
Yeah. Well,
but
if they do one, they would probably just reboot it at that point, correct? Like,
that's what this last one was going to be. I heard that the character of Eric Draven was going to be like, this was a reboot, basically, is what I heard.
Cool, man. All right, cool. Good choice. I didn't even, you know, what's funny is I didn't even think of that movie as a comic book movie. Like, I had totally forgot that it was a comic book. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't, you know.
It's one of those earlier ones, you know, the mid to prior 90s when occasionally they'd come out, but they'd be these B characters because they didn't have the licensing and the backing to put out a proper, like they do now.
Cool, man. Well, my number 2 is Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah.
That is my number 2. She makes the perfect Harley Quinn, period. No, you could try to argue with me with that, but it ain't gonna happen. She's Harley Quinn's my second favorite comic book character of all time, and I would have been really, really mad if she would have done a bad job. So I feel like I'm a good indicator of whether or not she made a good Harley Quinn, and I think her portrayal of Harley Quinn on the big screen is fantastic.
Right. Well, you had a really good grasp of the character before you saw it on film, so you had a good sense of expectation, and for them not to go astray and to make a character portrayal that you enjoy is exciting, you know, because if they did a shitty job, it would suck because it'd be her only shot probably.
And they didn't do like the original, you know, jumpsuit Harley Quinn with the, you know what I mean, with the mallet and stuff. They made her look pretty badass with cutoffs and, you know, fishnets and crazy ass, you know, garb, and then they give her a bat instead, and I feel like that's turning into the iconic Harley Quinn as of now. And they did such a good job that when people think of Harley Quinn, that's who they think of now, you know? And I like the fact that in Suicide Squad, we're going back to Suicide Squad because that's where she first started, they kind of mention, they kind of give a Easter egg to the old Harley Quinn with the, you know, she pulls the old jumpsuit, the clown, you know, the Harley Quinn suit out of the chest and stuff like that. So at least they kind of mention her beginnings, you know, with the Joker and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely her. And then the Harley Quinn movie, the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie that just came out not too long ago. That movie was fantastic, dude. I went and saw it twice. I don't understand the big hate for that movie. Nobody went and saw it. I think it was the fact that the name was so long and people were like, it was like a name thing, you know, and people just didn't go see it. And I don't understand because the soundtrack, the movie, the fight scenes, the story, everything was freaking awesome in that movie, dude.
Nice. No, I gotta watch it. I didn't see it in the theater.
And then the fact that Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's she from?
She's freaking amazing. She was I always forget this character because I don't like this movie, but my wife likes it. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She was I want to say her name started with a V. Viola. I can never remember her name, but she was the love interest of Scott Pilgrim in the movie, like the girl that came around that he was pining for, basically. And then she was in like Cloverfield Lane, that Cloverfield Lane movie, and she's been in a lot of stuff. But yeah, she was the antagonist in Sky High, I believe. She was like if you remember that movie Sky High, with all the like superhero kids that went to school up in the air, and you don't remember that movie? Oh, dude, go watch Sky High. Everybody out there, go watch Sky High. Very underrated movie. Anyways, cool, man. Yeah, that's my number 2, Harley Quinn.
Right on, dude. Right on. I'm looking forward to that flick, actually. I like your enthusiasm. My number 1 character, loved him in the comic books, loved him on NES, loved him in the first film I saw that was a B movie that didn't quite work out with a certain Dolph Lundgren. Didn't quite love him in the Thomas Jane rendition. Didn't know what to think of him much in the Warzone rendition. However, when that hit Netflix and this character right here, Mr. Frank Castle, Mr. Punisher, comes out and just starts wrecking fools, I watched every episode in 2 days. I was in love with that film, man. The Punisher is an awesome character. He's not a superhero, but he's a comic character who
anti-hero.
Yeah, the vigilante extreme, right?
Same as Deadpool. You know, it's got the same thing.
Minus the whole coming back to life from decapitations and whatnot. But yeah, Punisher just I didn't think that a performance truly did what I thought the character needed in terms of proper storytelling and justice until Jay Barenthal, I believe that's his name, came in and just wrecked it. He was just awesome, and I watched the second season. It was fantastic, and I want more, and they canceled it, and now that's all we got, but at least we got something.
I'm going to say something real controversial to you.
All right.
I watched the first episode of that show, and I never watched it again. I thought it was terrible.
Dude, you missed it.
I don't like the actor at all. I hated him on Walking Dead too. Can't stand him. Can't stand him, dude.
Cat Mystery. Yeah.
And then but as far as Punisher wise, dude, honestly, I think the Thomas Jane movie is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. I really like that movie. Like, I don't know why, I really like that movie.
well, he kills John Travolta. That ain't a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know,
the fact
doesn't
that
happen very often in movies.
John Panette being his freaking neighbor, you know what I mean, and Kevin Nash being in that movie. I thought it was a cool movie, dude. It was a little cheesy, but it was cool, you know.
Right. I was just happy to see him at the time on screen, but in retrospect, it dropped for me because of the campiness.
It's true.
But Warzone was good and dark, you know.
I never watched the Warzone
gets enough
one.
credit.
Yeah, I'd have to check that because it was a different actor, right? Warzone.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah. Forgive me, I can't think of his name at the moment, but
yeah.
So yeah, dude, Punisher number 1. Hit me with your number 1.
All right, my number 1 just happens to be my favorite comic book character of all time. So I had to go number 1, but it is my favorite comic book movie of all time. So it kind of worked out, right? There's a lot of times where your favorite comic book character didn't turn out great on screen, type of deal, right? My number 1 is Wonder Woman.
Oh, nice.
Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman has always been my favorite comic book character. I don't know why. I think since a little kid, I just always thought that the whole like Greek goddess, mythology type of stuff was really cool, and that she just kicks ass, dude. She doesn't give a shit. Like, she's just like, I'm here, I'm gonna lasso your ass, and you know what I mean. And the fact that she, like, in a fight, you know what I mean, she took out Superman, like, to me, she's all powerful. And when Gal Gadot came around and they did that movie, and it was like the first portrayal of Wonder Woman in an actual film, besides Linda Carter being Wonder Woman on TV back in the day, right?
True. Campy, but good.
Yeah. Dude, her portrayal of Wonder Woman is so epic that I don't think another person, you can't look at somebody else and say that's she's Wonder Woman, right? Like, she has cemented herself as Wonder Woman.
Right, much like Hugh Jackman has secured himself as Wolverine.
Yeah. People look at Hugh Jackman and they go, oh, that's Wolverine. Well, she's Wonder Woman.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank God it wasn't Green Lantern. But, nah, dude, so Wonder Woman, it's my favorite comic book character of all time, favorite movie as far as that of all time, and number 2, I can't wait for Wonder Woman 1984. I'm so stoked for that, dude.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Man. Anyways, you saw a running theme except for the first one of DC characters, because that's sort of what I gravitate to. That's my jam. I know everybody has their own thing, but that's just mine. Anyways, just to give you a heads up, my wife just texted me and she said the character's name in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is Ramona Flowers. That was her name in the movies. Yeah. So if anybody's wondering out there, yeah. Cool,
Thanks,
man.
Chris's wife. Appreciate it.
Anyways, yeah, man, that was a good list. I'm sure you guys are gonna find some of those controversial. I honestly, Aaron, I thought you were gonna say Spawn. I thought you were gonna put Michael Jai as Spawn up there.
Honestly, if we had an honorable mention, that was where.
Oh, okay, there you go. Honorable mention. Are you gonna go with? Are you gonna go with Spawn?
Spawn. Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, okay, cool. Spawn. All right. I guess I can do an honorable mention, and I would have to say, I was gonna go with Howard the Duck. I think.
Okay. Hey, I love any love for Howard the Duck, man. So if you want to,
I think
make that your final answer, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Howard the Duck because it's such a cheesy good movie. I love it so much. So
nice.
And I've always loved Howard the Duck as a character. So you know what I mean.
Perfect.
So anyways, cool, man. Well, that's another episode of Nerds on Lockdown. Make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the subscribe button somewhere on the screen. You guys will see it at the end somewhere. And all our social medias are right down the middle right here, guys. Nerds on Lockdown at Instagram, Lockdown Nerds at Twitter, and on Facebook at Push Up Your Glasses. Thanks, Aaron, for hanging out.
Thanks for having me, bro. It was a good time, as always.
Until Nick. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Go for it, man.
I was just going to say, Legionnaires, Legion on, man. We'll see you next time.
Heck yeah, Legionnaires. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the flip side.